Hey there! I'm diving deep into a fascinating topic today. How in the world do massive clouds stay afloat in the sky despite weighing a whopping 1,000,000 tons? Let's unravel this sky-high mystery together. Alright, let's start with the basics. When you look up at the sky and see those fluffy white clouds, have you ever stopped to wonder what they're really made of? Clouds are essentially a collection of tiny water droplets or ice crystals, and these droplets are so small that gravity has a hard time pulling them down. Now here's where it gets interesting. Despite clouds being incredibly heavy when you consider their total mass, the density of an individual cloud is actually just a tad lighter than the air around it. We're talking about a density that's only 0.4% lower than the surrounding air. Sounds negligible, right? But it makes all the difference. Each cloud floats in the atmosphere like a boat floats on water. Just as a boat displaces water to stay afloat, clouds displace air. This happens through a principle called buoyancy. So in simpler terms, because the cloud is less dense, it floats on the more dense air, just like a piece of wood floats on water. But there's another layer to this. Air temperature and pressure play a crucial role too. Warmer air rises, and as it rises, it cools and can condense into a cloud. This rising warm air can help support the cloud from below, keeping it afloat in a sea of cooler, denser air. Lastly, let's talk about cloud formation. Clouds form when humid air cools enough for condensation to occur. This is often due to air rising and expanding in the atmosphere. As it expands, it cools, and voila, clouds start to form. The balance between the upward motion of the air and the weight of the cloud determines if the cloud will float, or if it'll start dropping some rain. So next time you're lying on your back, gazing up at the sky, marveling at a cloud lazily drifting by, remember it's not just a simple puff of white. It's a complex, floating phenomenon, deftly balancing the laws of physics. While we're on the topic of fascinating natural phenomena, let's take a brief detour from the skies to the savannas. Have you ever wondered about the risks that the tallest land animals on Earth face? I'm talking about giraffes. Did you know that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? True, there are only 5 well-documented fatal lightning strikes on giraffes between 1996 and 2010. But due to the population of the species being just 140,000 during this time, it makes for about 0.003 lightning deaths per 1,000 giraffes each year. This is 30 times the equivalent fatality rate for humans. So why are giraffes so vulnerable? Well, their extraordinary height makes them natural lightning rods, especially in open areas like the African savannas where they roam. Unlike humans, giraffes don't have the luxury of taking shelter in buildings or vehicles when a storm hits. Their height, combined with their open habitat, makes them prime targets for lightning strikes. It's a stark reminder of how different species have unique challenges dictated by their environments and physical characteristics. So next time you think about the weather, spare a thought for these majestic creatures and the unique dangers they face. After exploring the fascinating world of giraffes and lightning, let's shift our focus to something a bit closer to home. Identical twins. You might think that identical twins are completely identical in every way, but that's not entirely true. Here's a surprising fact. Identical twins don't have the same fingerprints. Yes, you heard that right. Despite sharing the same DNA, identical twins have unique fingerprints. This means you can't blame your crimes on your twin, after all. But why is this the case? The answer lies in the environment they experience during development in the womb. Factors like the length of the umbilical cord, their position in the womb, and the rate at which their fingers grow all play a role in forming their unique fingerprints. These environmental influences ensure that no 2 fingerprints are exactly alike, even in the case of identical twins. So, while they may look almost exactly the same and share many similarities, identical twins each carry their own unique set of fingerprints, adding another layer of individuality to their identities. Now, let's shift our gaze from the mysteries of identical twins to the grand rotations of our planet. Did you know that Earth's rotation is changing speed? It's actually slowing. This means that, on average, the length of a day increases by around 1.8 seconds per century. Imagine this. 600 million years ago, a day on Earth lasted just 21 hours. That's right, the days were significantly shorter back then. The reason behind this gradual slowdown is the gravitational interaction between Earth and the Moon, causing tidal friction that acts like a brake on our planet's rotation. So as time marches on, our days are getting ever so slightly longer. Who knows how much longer our days will be millions of years from now? One thing's for sure, our ever-changing Earth never ceases to amaze. And now, let's delve into something even more mind-boggling: your brain. Did you know that your brain is constantly eating itself? This process is called phagocytosis. It might sound alarming, but it's actually quite fascinating and beneficial. Phagocytosis is where cells envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system. Think of it as your brain's housekeeping service, clearing out the clutter to keep things running smoothly. Don't worry, phagocytosis isn't harmful. In fact, it helps preserve your grey matter, ensuring that your brain remains in tip-top shape. It's a vital process that keeps your brain healthy and functioning optimally. So next time you think about how amazing the human body is, remember that even at a microscopic level, it's working tirelessly to take care of you. Stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our incredible world.